We're in Kuching with Sarawak Tourism. Sarawak is a state on Malaysian Borneo, and today we're exploring the charming village of Siniawan for their weekend night market. We are going to have some incredible street food. I'm Thomas.
And I'm Sheena, and we're chasing a plate. We hope you're hungry. Let's eat. We've come to Siniawan Night Market, which is in Siniawan Village, for a street food tour. This village is so charming. It's a traditional Chinese village, and it's retained a lot of its original shop fronts and buildings from the 1920s. It is absolutely beautiful, and there is a ton of food to sample, so let's go and eat. Even though it's peeing down with rain, all of the food vendors are out in full force. So we have got our first snack. It's a traditional Pedayu Kueh. Kueh is a Malaysian snack or sweet, and Pedayu are a tribe. This is the most interesting kueh I've ever seen. So it's sticky rice, and it's actually being stuffed into a catcher plant. So the catcher plant sits exactly like I'm holding it, and then it's a vegetarian plant. So it's filled with water from rain and whatnot, and then leaves drop into it, and then it like eats the mulch. It's so fascinating. So what you do is you peel away the plant to reveal that sticky or glutinous rice. It's got white sticky rice and also red grains, and I've just revealed a peanut. Let's give this a go. Wow, it's actually really soft. So the consistency over the sticky rice is not very dense, it's just a really soft, moist stickiness. I'm going to give this another bite and try that peanut. And then the peanut as well is really soft. It's just a really subtle flavour. Oh, that's so tasty.
When you see wafts of smoke coming up off a grill, it often means satay when you're in Malaysia. So we've got a little bag here, and in this case it's pork satay. So I'm going to grab a skewer. So quite a thin little skewer, and I have a tub of satay sauce here, which has a little bit of oil on, like might have some spice in it. You can just see a little bit of red, but let's get straight in there. It's quite a runny sauce. Oh, but really chunky peanuts. Wow, the pork is really soft, but quite dry. It's not fatty at all, and the sauce packs so much flavor because the peanuts are cut really rough. There's very big bits of peanuts in there. It's got a real peanut taste, not like a cooked chili taste. It just actually tastes like eating peanuts. Slide that to the end. We'll get it back and look at the texture of that sauce. You can see it's much more runny than you'd expect or what it normally is. Oh, look at that. Huge peanuts on top. Let's have this last bit. Oh, really, really good. So once again, no fat. So there was no fat on that skewer. It was all just meat. And then that sauce is really nice. It has a tiny, tiny chili spice. Those chunky peanuts are amazing. And then I love that runniness. That is an awesome dish, and I'm glad there's more sticks of satay in the bag because I'm going to wolf these down. It's really good and lives up to the beautiful way it looks on the grill here. With the smoke billowing up, pouring into the street. Really, really nice.
So this is the whole of Siniawan Village, just this one street, and it is so atmospheric. The lanterns are all lit up, the sun is going down, and there's a real hustle and bustle and liveliness with people just coming out and having a meal. Let's go and find our next thing to snack on. When you're in Sarawak, you have to try Goulaan, which is the sugar made from the nipa palm, and we have found it in our next snack, or drink rather, and it's in the form of a 3-layer tea. So you've got the layer of tea up the top there, then there's a layer of milk, and then right at the bottom there's that dark brown thick Goulaan. What I'm going to do is just give it a big old mix up and really get that thick syrup mixed in with the tea and the milk. Wow, look at the color changing. You can tell it's really thick because it's sort of stuck to the bottom a bit. Give it a big old stir. I'm just gonna go for the sample. It's just looking way too good. The Goulaan is really sweet. It's almost caramelly tasting, a little bit smoky, and then it's just combined with that tea and the milk to make for a really delicious, refreshing drink. This is a must try when in Sarawak.
This street is so charming. The last light of the evening is just fading away, and you can see all these beautiful lanterns they've got lined up. The sky's got a real purple tinge. All of these wooden shop fronts are just sort of shimmering in that purple light. The people are starting to come out now because the rain has stopped. This is a really fun place to just wander. It's very casual. Normally a street like this would just be packed with people, but this is a much quieter place. It's not too many people around. You can wander freely. Everyone's got a big smile. I'm loving this so far. And we've spotted the next thing that we're gonna eat, so let's go and taste it.
We couldn't resist the charcoal barbecues, which have these gleaming pieces of Siew or barbecue pork resting on top of them. Gleaming is the right word. They're glistening with that sticky glaze, and we have got a plate of it right here to dig into. The meat is just beautiful. So you can see layers of fat, then layers of meat, then layers of fat. There's a little bit of cucumber on the side here and also some chili and lime. But you know what? I'm just gonna go original, like just pork and nothing else. Let's get a piece of this. Look at that. Wow, I can see the fat just glistening. The meat has so much flavor. And you get that really sweet glaze punctuating each bite. The meat is quite, well, not chewy in a bad way, like it's still got a lot of texture because it's been chopped quite thickly. I've got to go for another piece. And this time I'm going to dip it in that chili sauce or sambal. See what that does to it. Alright. It's a little bit of a fiery kick to it. It's really good. Let's give this cucumber a go. The perfect accompaniment. Cuts through any fattiness in the Siew because that's a pickled cucumber. So it's vinegary, it's fresh, it's crunchy. This plate is just going to disappear in minutes.
As well as standing up to it, you can sit down and have many different dishes here, which is really cool. And now that the rain stopped, there's all these tables being lined up out in the street, so you can sit right in the middle of the road and get your food delivered to you. So we've sat down with a drink, which you can also get here, which is great, and this plate of crispy mee. So mee is noodles, and this is crispy noodles because it's been deep fried. So you can see the thin noodle, wheat noodle, has been deep fried, so it's really crispy. And then there is an array on top. You've got some chicken, you've got some char siu pork, we've got some greens, some spring onions, some fish balls. There's a whole bunch of fried shallots, and then that is all sitting on this quite thin tomato sauce, which looks kind of like it's probably a sweet tomato sauce. I don't really know how to tackle it because it's really crispy, like a nest almost. Alright, let's just try and not make a huge mess. So I'm gonna get some noodles. Oh, the ones down the bottom are all soggy because they're sitting in that sauce. Let's just go sort of half crispy noodles, half soggy noodles. The texture is really weird because that mouthful is half crispy, which has kind of got stuck around my lips, but half soft, which has gone down easily. The tomato sauce, I guess it's more like a tomato gravy actually, because it's not a tomato sauce like from a squeezy plastic bottle, so it's more of like a thin gravy, and it's kind of like a sweet tomato sauce. So let's try it by itself to get more of that flavour. It was hard to taste on the noodles. It doesn't have a whole lot of flavour. It's got a tiny bit of tomato flavour and really just quite a sweetness, but that coats the noodles really well. Let's try some of the chicken. It's just like a poached piece of chicken. It's also quite simple, and I'm going to take it this char siu or pork is also quite simple. So this is really, it's a whole lot of simple things being put together to make this crazy dish. Let's get some of these crispy noodles. It's like eating little noodle snacks that you'd have with a happy hour drink. They're just kind of crunchy and nice, but like I talked about before, then you've got all these soggy noodles underneath. It's really good. It's a really simple dish. It just is what it is. I think even just from looking at it, you kind of know what it's going to taste like. So it's a great dish to fill you up, different textures. It's kind of a fun dish. I like it. Our tummies are totally full. This has been a really good place to explore and eat some street food. Really fun and really filled us up after an action-packed day with Sarawak tourism. We went to the orangutans this morning and saw the most incredible sights. We saw about 10 orangutan. Can you hear that karaoke? That is wild. We saw about 10 orangutan swinging through the trees, then we went kayaking through the jungle, and now we're here, and this was the perfect day after all that action to be here eating. It was so good.
Thank you so much to Sarawak Tourism for making this experience possible. If you're in Sarawak, make sure you visit Siniawan Night Market on a Friday, Saturday or Sunday. It is probably the most atmospheric night market we have ever visited. Thank you so much for watching. We hope we inspired you to eat and explore like a traveller, not a tourist. Remember to give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe for more food adventures, and we'll see you next time. Jumpa lagi!
Jumpa lagi!